Some blue chip firms on the Nigerian Stock Exchange are hesitant to discuss their robust half-year earnings. Citing Nigeria's cost of living crisis, a number of firms Arise News reached out to discuss their earnings have so far declined, saying it would be insensitive to discuss billions of naira in corporate profits while so many Nigerians are struggling to stay above water financially. Does Chika Mbonu agree? Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu joins us. Chika, you're a corporate man. You run a lot of companies. You advise these companies. What do you make of this decision? They're not coming on air to talk about the billions they've made.
These are really difficult times for our country.
Yes.
Poverty capital of the world. Unemployment, 60% or above. Misery index, the roof. Every parameter that you touch, that you mention, is just there in the gutter. Our people struggling to feed.
Yep.
Inflation, food inflation at 20% plus.
Yep.
And what can you say? Even those who want to earn a living, end up being kidnapped on the roads or, kill you. And so good news in the midst of this situation becomes difficult to process. I do recall one time I was living in the next state, somewhere in Saboyaba.
Yeah.
And from the road, whenever NEPA used to be very bad, and my house used to be the house that used to have light when there's...
Okay, with the gen.
Yeah. And it was like a marked house,
Because it's the only lighthouse with lights and everywhere is dark. Yeah.
I had to pack up from that place quickly because it's like everybody knows where I'm living.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a difficult situation. So for the corporate, the issue is that how are you making your money?
Right.
How are you making your money? There are case studies of companies that, as they are thriving during low times like this, there were structures to give back to the society. I believe that any corporate that has been conscientious in giving back to the society, transparently, would not have any, won't be scared or whatever, talking about their successes.
Yeah.
After all, even difficult times, there was a time that the people in government were like going to be stoned. There was one governor that was doing well, and he could come out in the street and everybody. Somebody will ask, he's not one of the shareholders.
Yes. What about shareholders?
See, profit is a reward for capitalism.
Yeah.
It's a reward for running a company well, and almost celebrate, it's in our own interest, even for the larger economy, for companies to make profit.
Yeah.
But when they make profit, what happens again? These figures I mentioned now, the misery index, unemployment index will get higher because they're going to fire people and put them into the unemployment market. But I can understand the sentiment that when things are not going very well, even in our normal lives, with our classmates and stuff like that, who are struggling to pay the school fees of their children, you don't come in their group and say your children are in Harvard or stuff like that.
The Speaker of the House, Bajabi Amila, right?
You don't come and do that.
Yeah.
And so you moderate. You hide in the crowd and as if everybody is like suffering. When they ask about your kids, you just say, they're not affected by ASU strike, because you don't want to celebrate the fact that they're all your peers, you're working hard together. But if you're really working hard, all of them knew you're working hard, not that they're stealing money from government.
Right.
No, they're stealing money from government.
Exactly, yeah.
There's nothing wrong in celebrating your success. So I can understand the sentiments. I know, I need you going to share this news because all the people that will talk about, let's talk about your results.
Yeah.
All of them want to come and say we did billions, and in this land of scarcity, people are celebrating plenty. Difficult times.
The former president Olusegun Obasanjo is in that boat.
I don't know whether that's this proverb that says the sun shines on everyone and the rain falls on everyone. And we have had the ministers for works or directors for works in some of the federal ministries, who instead of giving road contracts to the roads that lead their places, they go and buy jeeps to go through the bad roads, to their houses. So everybody is affected by the diesel thing. But where is the diesel thing? Go back to what? Power.
Right.
Power. Obasanjo had 80 years to deal with power. I mean, he had some. If you ask him, he tell you he had some success. But the issue that issue was not resolved. The next government that he handed over to also had 8 years to do. They haven't done anything. So all of us are suffering there. If we went through the story, you would have seen that that this is happening because we have bad government. So what happened during his own time? But it speaks about our country. It's not just the fish people. Everybody is suffering. Aviation suffering. Hotels are suffering. Everywhere. 800 naira to a liter for diesel, where for most companies, 40% of your cost is power.
Right. That's high.
That's high. It obliterates your working capital, obliterates your profits. And that's the problem. Because you cannot even pass on the cost. You heard the fish people say it, that if you impute that cost into the cost of fish, cost will be about 1,400 per ton. They can't sell more than 1,500. Otherwise, you be in the market like this for money tonight. Nobody buying your fish, and your fish get rotten. So fundamental issues. 2023 stays in our face, and let us all again, not just raising, but that day let us all come on to vote. And I thought about it in the last program. INEC has a responsibility to make sure that things are easy for the electorate that day also to go and vote. You mentioned something about the trend.
NRC. The Punch newspaper saying they've suspended.
What is new? They say it doesn't rain, it showers. And every day the news, gets worse. See, the things that the country require to turn around, FX, anything, is a robust business, private sector. Our productive sector base has to expand. And the number one thing that we require to expand there is power. Okay? Which is also aligned to the story thought about diesel and stuff like that. Now, but the number two thing is the ease of movement of goods and services, raw materials, free products around Nigeria. And also the customers. At the time, you see the amount of business that used to be done between the West African trade. People used to come from Ghana, Togo, Liberia. I know. I deal with some of these countries. All come to Kano, now come to Aba to come and buy goods and move. Even back that days, even us as bankers, we knew the days that this will come. Most of those have disappeared now because of security. So now, you're shutting down the rails. When we are talking about how to have linkages to all the state capitals and to all the commercial centers in Nigeria to enable logistics, the value chain to be expanded. And now we're even saying that they're going to be shut down.
You can't fly.
You can't fly.
You can't
drive. As you're living now by road, even some authorities say that when your people are traveling, make sure you get money ready for kidnapping.
Sad state of affairs, but
2023 is here.
We have to take it serious.
Take it very seriously.
All right, business analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, thanks for coming to talk to us about this.